everyone, welcome back. We're going to dive into something pretty electrifying today. The Guangzhou International Auto Show. Yeah, just wrapped up. Over 1,000 vehicles were there.
Yeah.
And more than half of them were NEVs.
Wow.
New energy vehicles and almost 80 global debuts.
Yeah, it was a really big one.
That's massive.
Yeah.
What I think is so fascinating is how global automakers are responding.
Yeah.
They're not just dipping their toes in.
Right.
They're diving headfirst into collaborations with Chinese companies, creating cars specifically designed for the Chinese market.
Absolutely, and it's not just about slapping a new badge on an existing model.
Right.
We're seeing entirely new brands emerging.
Like
Audi, for example, has partnered with SAIC to launch,
Audi, ditching the iconic four rings.
in all caps no less. They're creating a unique identity to tap into the specific desires and demands of Chinese consumers.
Like what?
So think advanced driver assistance systems.
Okay.
Next level infotainment and connectivity that goes beyond anything we're used to.
So they're really going all in on what the Chinese driver wants.
Right.
Wasn't Nissan doing something similar?
Absolutely. Their partnership with Dongfeng yielded the N7 electric sedan,
Okay.
a sleek, aerodynamic family car packed with technology, so they're not just competing.
Yeah.
They're aiming to redefine what an electric family car can be in China.
This is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
We're seeing these global giants not just acknowledging,
Right.
but embracing the fact that the Chinese market is unique.
Absolutely. And it's not just about consumer tastes. It's about recognizing the technological prowess that Chinese companies bring to the table,
Right.
particularly in areas like battery technology.
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting.
Oh.
Toyota, a company that's been, I think, a little slower to embrace fully electric vehicles, unveiled the DZ7 concept.
Right.
And get this, it's reportedly using BYD's battery and electric motor technology.
That's a significant move.
Yeah.
Toyota, known for its hybrid dominance.
Right.
Turning to a Chinese company for EV tech, it highlights the changing landscape of the industry.
Yeah.
BYD has become a leader in battery technology, and even established players like Toyota are recognizing the value of collaboration.
So it's not just about adapting to the market, it's about tapping into the innovation that's happening within China.
Exactly, and it's happening across all segments.
Okay.
GAC Honda, for instance, debuted their Yep sub-brand with the Yep P7.
Okay.
A production-ready model,
Okay.
featuring significant chassis improvements. So this isn't just about luxury cars.
Right.
It's about the entire electric ecosystem evolving at an incredible pace.
So we've got established players like Audi, Nissan, even Toyota, making significant moves in China, often hand in hand with Chinese companies.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears for a second, talk about the Mazda EZ-6. This is where things get really interesting. I actually got to drive this thing. And let me tell you, it's generating a ton of buzz, even if its future is, well, a little bit uncertain.
Oh, how so?
We'll get into that.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, so the EZ-6 is built on Changan's EPA platform, which is known for its hybrid capabilities.
Makes sense. I've heard good things about that platform.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. The initial press release from Mazda, it kind of hinted at a global release,
Ah, okay.
but then Mazda Australia came out and said, nope, not for us. At least not yet, anyway.
Huh. So there's a bit of a question mark hanging over its global aspirations then.
But let's focus on the car itself for a minute. Forget about the release drama.
Sounds good.
So first of all, the Mazda design language is all over this car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's sleek, it's refined. It kind of reminded me of the Deepol SL03,
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
but with the distinct Mazda flavor, you know?
Right, right.
And the interior. Don't even get me started.
Oh, come on. You've got to tell me about the interior.
Something else.
Spill the beans.
Okay.
Marty.
So the interior is amazing.
Okay.
It's spacious, it's very tech focused, with this massive 14.6-inch infotainment screen just dominating the dashboard.
Wow, 14.6 inches. That's pretty huge.
It's massive.
Yeah.
The driving experience is really remarkable.
Okay, so tell me about that. What's it like to actually drive?
Well, the acceleration is incredibly smooth and responsive, especially in a full electric mode. And the transition between electric and range extender modes, I barely even noticed it.
Really?
It was seamless. Plus, it's still got that signature Mazda handling. You know, that feeling of being really connected to the road.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Mazdas are known for that.
Exactly.
That's great to hear they've managed to keep that feeling, even with the electrification.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So let's dive into the specs a bit more.
Okay.
The fully electric version has a 190 kilowatt motor, while the EREV the extended range version, uses a 1.5-liter gasoline engine to keep that battery charged up.
Right.
And what's really impressive is the range. You're looking at up to 600 kilometers for the EV and a whopping 3,301 kilometers combined for the EREV. So range anxiety, not so much.
Yeah, definitely not. And speaking of anxiety, Mazda seems to have really prioritized safety with the EZ-6.
Oh, for sure. There's been a lot of talk about the safety tests they've done, especially that intense side crash test they did with the truck. I saw the footage. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, it was intense.
The analysis afterwards showed just how strong the car's structure is. They call it a 7-cross, 5 longitudinal cage structure, and the way the airbag system performed in that extreme scenario. It seems like Mazda could have a real winner here.
What more could you ask for?
Right. You've hit the nail on the head there, those EV and ERV options. That flexibility could be a major selling point in markets where charging infrastructure is still developing. Think about it. You can zip around town using electric power and then have that range extender for those longer trips without stressing about finding a charger.
Exactly. When I was driving it, the transition between the two modes was so smooth it felt like driving a fully electric car. But without the range limitations, it really did feel like the best of both worlds.
Precisely. That's the beauty of the ERE setup. It bridges that gap between traditional gasoline cars and pure EVs. It's a practical solution for people who aren't quite ready to go all electric just yet.
Mazda Australia has already said that interest in sedans is declining in their region. And that might be part of a larger trend. SUVs are still incredibly popular worldwide.
True. SUVs are definitely having their moment, but the technology in the EZ-6 could be a real game changer, especially in those markets with developing charging infrastructure. So it can't just be about SUVs versus sedans. What else could be holding Mazda back?
Well, maybe it's about production capacity and cost. Scaling up production to meet global demand. That's a massive undertaking. It makes sense that they would focus on the Chinese market for now, where they already have those established partnerships and production facilities.
Yeah, you're right. That's a really valid point. And we can't forget the financial aspect either. Developing and launching a car for a global market. That's a huge investment. It showcases Chinese automakers like Changan, not just as manufacturers, but as major players in design and engineering as well.
So it's not just a one-way street anymore. It's a true collaboration. And that's got to be a good thing for innovation.
Yeah, absolutely. This kind of collaboration, it brings fresh perspectives and innovative solutions to the table, which can lead to better cars for everyone.
It's exciting to think about how this partnership will continue to evolve. It makes you wonder what other groundbreaking models might come out of these collaborations in the future.
I know. It's really intriguing. I think that's the beauty of it all. We're at the beginning of a new era in the auto industry, and it's full of possibilities.
It's safe to say that the Mazda EZ-6 is a car worth keeping an eye on. It's a potential glimpse into the future of Mazda, and maybe even a hint of what's to come for the entire auto industry.
I agree. It's a reminder that the car world is full of surprises, and that innovation can come from unexpected places. Who knows, maybe one day we'll see the EZ-6 on roads all over the world.
I hope so. Well, on that note of exciting possibilities, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive into the world of EVs and the Mazda EZ-6. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Charged Up.
Thanks for joining us.
And be sure to stay charged up on all the latest car news and trends. We'll see you next time.